R. Vegas is the Beast Nation show with the Raiders Real Insider. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. But hey, I know nothing. Trevor Frey says, first time commenting, been watching for a couple weeks, saw you on a different creator's channel. Glad I did. I love the details about the team. Been a diehard Raider fan since 1978. Wow, that's going way back. I wasn't born yet. And I appreciate it. And again, Trevor, thank you so much and joining us here. And again, spread the word. You've been a fan since 1978. So you already know what I bring to the table because, again, if you've been following me for 3 weeks, you know the flavor I bring, right? The in-depth analysis that when it comes to watching game, and no one has to do this. No one's telling me, hey, you have to watch game film to formulate your analysis. It's like, no, but that's my meat and potatoes. You take away my meat and potatoes, I'll just be like everyone else. And not saying that everyone else, I shouldn't say everyone else because everyone else brings their own flavor, but that's my flavor, right? That's my flavor. You can't, that's what you guys all come to love, right? From the press conference interview questions to the locker room post interviews to everything in between. And for me, it always boils down to game film, right? Because again, when we draft players, when draft rolls around, how do you know who's good or who's not? What do? You watch game film. Okay, anybody can watch game film, but do you know what to look for, right? These are all different parameters. Do you have a grading system? No one, I guarantee 99.999999999% of beat writers do not have a grading system. And I'm not saying and knocking them for not having one because, again, like everyone brings their own flavor, right? But that's just how I bring my flavor to the table. And I'm glad you guys like it because, again, no one's telling me to watch 50, 60 hours of film on top of the daily reporting and daily grind. And then also dedicating 4 to 6 hours, I would say, on top of that, grading college film. That's why on November 22nd, all right, November 22nd, if you check out the Beast receipt, I said Peter Skoronski and Paris Johnson Jr. will both be targeted when the Raiders are on the clock if they're in that 6 to 9 range. On November 22nd, I said this. How do I know that? Why run the game film? But a lot of legwork, right? Like it sounds cool, but again, at the end of the day, it's like it's a lot of sacrifice. Like I sacrifice a lot to hop on a live stream and just talk ball, right? With no, like there's nothing in front of me right here. We're just talking. And so again, in order for me to format my analysis and about the team I'm covering, which is the silver and black, and give you the Beast Insider analysis from my perspective, can't speak for anyone else, from my perspective, from my flavor. For me, I can't do that unless I go back and watch film, not only on the Raiders, but the other 31 other NFL teams. So I can do a apples to apples comparison. For instance, you can't compare Luke Masterson to Darian Butler to, let's say, Robert Spillane and say, oh, well, these guys suck because he's not as good as Robert Spillane. What are the other teams doing, like GM Eric DeCosta with Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith? Go down the list, right? Or the 49ers, right? Fred Warner, right? We could talk about Fred Warner all day, but they also have Dre Greenlaw, right? And they lost Aziz Al-Shaair. So, again, with him now gone, how does that create the dynamic because they're playing a game of musical chairs because they couldn't re-sign everyone, and they also have to re-sign Nick Bosa. So again, there's different layers to this. You see what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about? But again, that's why I watch film, and that's why I always wait to post my analysis until after I do that. Because I don't feel comfortable like saying, oh, a player's going to be good or bad without formulating that analysis. And for me, it always goes back to the film, and everybody does it. Every beat writer does it. Everybody does it. It's just a different way of doing it. And I'm glad you like the flavor.